Tom, thank you very, very much for that gracious introduction. and now your recompense is Tom's book, Stand for the Best, is available on Amazon. And he wants me to let you know, if on your way home you stop at Barnes & Noble or tomorrow morning at Rainy Day Books and buy a copy, if everyone in this room buys a copy, he'll go into the top 100 on Amazon's list. So thank you. And it is great being here with all of you and with one of Kansas City's legends, one of America's legends, Henry Bloch. And this is going to be a historical reminiscence about H&R Block, but since we're dealing with history, Henry, I happen to have here the IRS has returned to me my 1988 tax return. It needs a little work. Oh, okay. No, we won't do that. We won't do that tonight. But your career has been a remarkable career, and I want to talk a little bit, and the history of H&R Block, a remarkable history. I do want to talk a little bit about the entrepreneurial aspects of this, how you created the company. And I want to go back to what may have been, what you've said might have been one of the key elements in that, one of the key moments, which is you went to war, and one of your brothers, Leon, also went to war in World War II, and you flew B-17 bombers, 31 missions, I think, over Germany, three over Berlin, won the Silver Star with oak leaf clusters, and extraordinary adventure, that great courage. Did that have something to do, would that experience have something to do with your willingness to venture what you ventured in creating H&R Block?
No, I really don't think it did.
Thank you all for being here tonight.
The one thing that I got out of it was, I guess, to be sort of a fatalist, because there were 1,000 planes flying on every mission, and a lot of them would get hit, and a lot of them went down, and I just felt I was lucky if I made it, and so it made me sort of a fatalist, that I couldn't control everything.
Right.
And I think that has helped me.
So you were willing to venture, and during the war you corresponded with your brothers,
Right.
Dick and Leon.
Well, if I hadn't been in service, there would be no H&R Block, because after I flew my missions, and I had 31 over Germany, then I came back, and the Air Force sent me to Harvard to study statistical control, and in the business school. And while I was there, I came across a booklet in the library. In fact,
Everything starts in the library. That is the message I want you to come with tonight.
I went to the library one day at noon, found this little booklet, which was a speech by a Professor Sumner Slichter. And in that speech, he gave at the Waldorf Astoria before a group of life insurance companies. And in that speech, he said that business is divided into three groups: big business, small business, and labor. And big business and labor are both very powerful. But small business, which is really the backbone of this country, needs help. And if there was any way they could put some of their money into small business, it would be wonderful. Well, that resonated with me, and
so you and Dick, was it, went to or Leon went to see him at Harvard and ask him for advice about starting a small business?
He wasn't very optimistic.
He didn't, But all the veterans you thought it was a good idea to start a small business because all the veterans were coming home, and you thought they'd need help, and then he didn't think that was such a good idea?
Well, he said he didn't know. He said they need help, little businesses, but I don't know if you can make a profitable business out of it or not.
Did he live long enough to hear about H&R Block?
That I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and so you started a business in Kansas City, United Business Company, with your brothers, and you did a lot of different things. There's a note from Leon somewhere in the archives that says you were going to do the following things: bookkeeping, taxes, collections, typing, and window decorating.
Right.
So I want to know, did you and Dick and Leon, did you ever actually get up in some windows and decorate them?
But we had about 50 services, and taxes were only one of the 50.
Right.
We didn't know.
Not that big a deal at that point. But when you created the business, you didn't have a lot of money. You had your $50 a month from the Army as a veteran, and for the Air Force as a veteran, and so you needed to go borrow some money from a member of your family in New York. New York Capital is a big thing here. Right. A Woolman, your aunt,
great aunt,
your great aunt. Mm-hmm. And tell us that story about great Aunt Kate.
We thought in order to help these companies, we needed all types of professional help. Somebody in insurance and accounting and whatever, marketing, and so we went to see her. She was quite wealthy. She lived in the Waldorf Astoria, and my brother and I asked her for a gift of $50,000.
A gift.
A gift. She said, "No, I will loan you $5,000 if your father will co-sign the note."
Which he was willing to do. But you also proposed to her, didn't you, Henry, that she might invest in the company, but she'd rather have the loan with your father on the note.
That's right. A
That
very small amount of money.
And she was a Woolman of Woolman Rink fame. Those of you who know New York or know skating may know Woolman Rink in Central Park, and that was your great aunt.
Right.
And if she'd invested instead of just taking the loan, there'd be a lot more rinks, wouldn't there?
That's true. That's true.
Well, that is a great story. So,
and incidentally, it was her father. She grew up in Leavenworth, and it was her father that invited Abraham Lincoln in 1859 to come and visit Leavenworth. The Republican Party needed help.
Right.
And he came and spent one night with them.
That's great. That's a wonderful story. And so you started United Business Company, and we're doing all these various things, not window decorating, but all the other things. And you were doing this, I think, maybe with Leon at that point, and you got some business. You needed more business, so you put a want ad in the newspaper. And who answered that want ad for some help?
Well, my mother.
Your mother.
But no, I've got to back up a little bit because we had no business, and Leon decided to go back
he was
to
going
law
to
school. He was going to the University of Missouri Law School.
Right.
So he quit and went back to school, and we returned the $5,000 to our great aunt, and then I stayed with it. I was single, and eventually I got a client and a few more, and then I had more than I could do. So that's when I put an ad in the paper for some help. And my mother answered it and said, "I know who you should hire, your brother Dick." And Dick was married at the time, and I said, "Mom, I can't hire Dick. I'm not making that kind of money." And but I did.
Mom was influential, I guess.
She was very influential.
In that decision.
She always got what she wanted.
What you wanted. And so you're building a small company with a lot of business services, and I've read that you and Dick walked up and down the streets. You were located at 39th and Main, is that right, across from the old Cat's drugstore?
31st and Main originally.
Initially. Okay.
Yeah. But eventually at Westport and Main.
Westport and Main. That's right, Westport and Main, across from the old Cat's drugstore.
But we did walk. We each took one side of the street and tried to get